So this message right now is very clear. Some of you really have been sitting in this sorrow, sitting in this very thick, dark energy. And there's something to this that might sound intimidating. But the interesting thing is if you've been feeling like you have been regressing or moving backward, you are actually, what I'm hearing from Spirit is you're moving forward. This seems like we're in the trenches, and because in a lot of ways you are, and that's valid. But what Spirit is showing me is you are actually in almost like a healing chamber, this vacuum chamber that is sucking and pulling and removing all of this negative energy. And I thought that was just the way that was shown to me, I thought was really interesting, and it changed the perspective because I can already tell, like as I'm channeling and as I'm tuning into your energy right now, you are feeling this fear of, oh God, what if I fall into a really severe depression? What if I fall into this space where I can't get myself out of bed, or I lose all motivation, I lose the vision of who I am? Because I know that this has happened before. And that is something that this kind of energy, this kind of experience has typically led into, is just a very intense depression. And what I'm hearing from Spirit right now is to truly remain authentic to the emotions that are present with you now, with the intent to exit the hole later, with the intent to climb out of the darkness when it is time. I know that might sound silly and kind of minute, but the reason I feel like Spirit is calling you into are you kidding me? Let me just say really quick, before I even started filming, I shuffled a little bit and the New Beginnings card fell out. And then on the back of the deck is the Emergence card. And I'm just, that's literally what I was getting to, is you are on the precipice of this massive emergence into this full, oh my gosh, this full authentic soul expression. It is clear to me that you have been given some of the hardest lessons in your life up until this point. And I can tell that the way that you carry yourself always has been this very old soul. It's never been, you've always just had so much knowledge and so much wisdom. And I'm not saying that is why you had to go through a lot of the darker things that you did, the traumatic experiences. No, but I will say that a lot of the experiences that you did go through, a lot of the traumas and the challenges and I'm telling you right now, I can feel it. It's dark. It's very heavy. It's actually shaped you to be the compassionate individual that you are. It's shaped you to be not just strong, not just resilient, but again, I'm going to say I'm redundant by saying this again, but compassionate. And that's a very important piece to this. And what I'm hearing from Spirit is that compassion that you feel towards the world, towards others, now is the best time to start to direct that compassion to yourself. I think that you're in this position where, because things are slower, because there is this like dark energy that we're in, it's easy for you to judge yourself or to feel like you're doing something wrong or you're not where you need to be. And there's this energy of almost like, I can feel where you're annoyed by yourself. You're annoyed by all of these emotions coming up. And let me be like, I'm seeing, Spirit is showing me like this deep cathartic cry, like weeping, and the sounds like are coming from the soul. And I don't know if this is because maybe recently you found yourself just having this really deep, cathartic, immersive cry where it was just like everything came up. Or maybe that is what is really going to be so beneficial if you found yourself suppressing those emotions. I'm getting so many messages because I'm sure there's many of you listening to this, so take what resonates, of course, but it's like I'm seeing whether this has happened where you had that really deep cathartic cry, or maybe that is something that you're needing. Maybe it's something that you need to allow yourself to feel and process these emotions, because the only reason they're here now is because it's time to feel, it's time to release them, it's time to let them go, to transmute them. You cannot take that with you where you are going now. Whenever I say that, when I say you can't take that with you where you are going, by no means am I saying that you can't tap into lower or negative emotions whenever you go into this next space and phase of your life. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is a lot of the things that are coming up for you right now it's processing, right? It's processing these heavy stories and these belief systems that we've told ourselves for so long, these challenges, these experiences that we had, what other people told us that we believed, right? That's what we're shedding. Those beliefs, we don't need to take them with us because it's going to keep us prohibited. It's going to keep us from being able to take steps forward. Does that make sense? So what I'm really seeing right now from like what Spirit is showing me and what they're really wanting you to remember during this time is, please do not feel like you are regressing. Please do not feel like you are doing something wrong or you're not on the right path just because there's a lot of stuff coming up right now. In fact, I'm hearing too like tons of different challenges or like super weird just inconveniences that keep happening. You are not being punished. Everything is there's going to be solutions that come, but the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to allow yourself to feel these suppressed emotions that are coming up. Do not judge them and give yourself that compassion. Understand, like, you've been carrying this backpack of bricks, okay? Metaphorically speaking, you deserve to take a rest. And like, let's think about it, right? Like, let's say you're wearing this backpack that's full of bricks. What is the only way we can make it less heavy? We got to take the bricks out, right? So those act of taking the bricks out, that's the act of you feeling into these emotions. I am also going to say this too. There is a beautiful balance that we want to call in. I don't want you, and I know you feel this too. I don't want you to get stuck in that lower space without the intention to climb up. That's why when we are processing something, intention really can help anchor us. It can help us to really get to the solution quicker if we say, okay, in this moment, my intention, when these emotions come up, is to feel them, to be present with them, so I can move forward. So I can finally let them go, release them, and move on to the next thing, right? That's the intention. We want to have the intention so we can integrate, so we can move out. So we're not staying in this lower space. So this is so loud. And I tried to film this yesterday. It wasn't flowing. Today is the day. In fact, it's Saturday. So Saturn. You're being challenged, aren't you? And of course, this is timeless. So whenever you're listening to this, right? I feel for you that this is your time. Like, if it's anyone's time, this is your time. The group of you listening to this, it has been one letdown after the other letdown after the other letdown. And even though you've wanted to give up and just say, screw it, you kept going. You're pushing, and there's still a little bit of hope. And I know Spirit is showing me right now that you keep saying you don't have any hope, that you don't know, you don't have hope, that there's all hope is lost. I'm willing to bet not. I'm willing to bet that yes, we can feel that, and that's valid. There is still this hope. There's still this vision that you're holding on to, and that is the resilience I'm talking about. You're very strong, and that's what I'm saying. This receiving energy, like, you need to be prepared to be in receiving mode. Obviously, right now, focus on the self, focus on processing emotions, focus on allowing yourself to be authentically where you are right now. If you're feeling lethargic, if you are feeling like you need to take a little bit more space and go a little slower, do that for yourself, but also know that there's also, oh my God, I hope that, I don't want to go all over the place here, but I feel like I've said this already, but you releasing and you processing these emotions, it's the preparation part too. It's like you also preparing, we're not in spring, but think of it as like spring cleaning a little bit. We're making space for new beliefs, for new perspectives of ourself, really is what I want to say. New perspectives of the self, more self-acceptance, more self-compassion, unconditionally loving the self. That's what we're wanting to call in. We're making that space, we're making room for those things, because that's going to be the fuel that's carrying us into this next phase. So the new beginnings card, forgiveness, forgiving the self, forgiving the self. I'm wondering if this is coming from, for you, like you're on the shame around, the shame around not just feeling a lot of darker emotions, but also the shame around the past you. Things that you have done in your past, things that you have said in your past. That's also something that we're really needing to find forgiveness around and acceptance around, because if I feel like there's this energy where you are wanting to completely just erase a past version of you, and they're showing me it's something that, it's a mistake that you made that you deem unforgivable. And yes, I know like your mind think, well, what if people found out, if people knew that this, like they never think of me the same. I don't want to see this. I don't want to remember this. I don't want to have any kind of connection to that version of myself. I want you to understand something, that you are nuanced. You're not good or bad. You are a combination of all of the things. You are not your mistakes. In fact, no, you are a very good person. You've made mistakes. You've said things that you don't agree with, that you don't align with. You've done things where made choices that aren't in alignment with you, but that doesn't mean that that is you. And there has to come a time, and this is the truth, in order for you to have a little bit more of that freeing experience, a little bit more of that feeling of safety to be authentic, to be in your true essence, to be unapologetically yourself, you will have to find it in you to forgive yourself. I'm not saying that you have to say, oh, it's okay, like it's fine. We can honor and take accountability, but we have to also be able to move forward. And I really want to encourage you right now, like this is one of the biggest, if you take anything from this reading, I really want to encourage you to do a little bit of work around familiarizing yourself with these older versions of yourself that you kind of distance yourself from. And here's the thing too, instead of you focusing on the thing you did that was so bad, or that you're not proud of or you're ashamed of, what if you focused on what you learned from it, how you grew, what changes you made, what it taught you? Focus on that a little bit more. Give a little bit more energy to that, because I guarantee you that will, if not just a smidge, will shift your perspective on that. And I hope that it can bring a cathartic experience for you. And I hope that you can also realize how freaking awesome you are. How strong, how resilient. You've gone through so much, my friend, and you don't need me to tell you that, because you already know you lived it. But you can't, it's not fair for you to keep discrediting yourself and selling yourself short. You deserve so much more. And I feel like Spirit is giving you, though it's a little tough, it's tough. This is not easy. This is not easy. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend it is. You know it's not easy. So I'm saying you are strong. You can get through a lot. You've gotten through so much. And though Spirit is giving you this opportunity to say, okay, what are we running from? Really, what are you running from? Where are you going? Because at the end of the day, this is yourself. You can't run from you. It's time to face it. It's time to feel it, to face it. Not to resist it, but to let it go. There is gifts. There is a lot of gifts, okay, on the other side of this. And I don't know why I feel like I need to say this. It's not that you're being punished, like, oh, if you don't do all this, then you're not going to get this. It can sound like that. It's not really that. It's if you're in a state of constant shame, if you don't have if you're not seeing yourself in the true way that you are, because you have such a little bit of this distorted sense of self, you know, if you're not seeing yourself for who you are, if you don't believe you are worthy of more, if you feel like you are a bad person, subconsciously you are going to continue to punish yourself, my friend. You are going to continue to punish yourself. Why? Because if we don't feel we are worthy, we're not going to make choices that take us on to the next step. We're not going to take action that leads us to where we want to go because subconsciously we don't feel we deserve it. And so I think this has been the biggest lesson that Spirit has been really wanting you to hear, is it's time now. It's time to get a little nasty, cry, have a snot cry. Do it. Scream in a pillow. I have it, so a lot of my clients, they know, we talk about the anger pillow, and for me, I have this big red pillow. It came from an old couch. And I have it, and ooh, if I need to feel that sacred rage, to feel what is coming up, I will beat the crap out of it. Beat up that pillow, or a stuffed animal, or some, whatever you need to do to feel. Those things are bad. Anger is not bad. Anger is sacred. Emotions are sacred. It's how we go about directing them, right? That's where the power is. Oh man, you are really, oh, you're so powerful. Radiance, the Radiance card. Growth, the triple spiral. I think you focus so much on your mistakes or what never went right that you fail to see what you've done so right. You're not seeing the magic, the strength, the perseverance that you have. And I want you to see that. I want you to recognize that. Spirit wants you to recognize that. Let me also bring this in. I'm seeing a raven. I love ravens. Ravens also, and I know this, if you've been seeing a lot of ravens, crows as well, but definitely ravens, understand they come at this dark spot. They come when we're at the end of the road, we're at the crossroads. There's nowhere else. Where are we going to go now? Do we want to keep running in the same direction, or are we willing and ready to take a different path that's a little scary, it's unfamiliar, it's going to push us out of our comfort zone, and we're going to have to face our fears a little bit, and we're going to have to get a little uncomfortable, but it's going to lead right back to true comfort, to true bliss. Keep an eye out for ravens, because power, protection. Let me grab this. Flow. Protection and power. If there is this concern on if I do this or if I step forward into this direction, if I take a risk, if I take a leap, will I be okay? And as simple as this is, I just hear, of course you will. Of course you will. I hear there's this message I'm hearing, why would I lead you into something just to have you fall? Why would I lead you into something that is so magical, so divine, so aligned with your passion, so aligned with your soul and your calling, just to have you fall? Trust. Trust that you are being supported. There's a lot of blessings and disguises for you right now that are coming in the form of like inconveniences. I said that I think in the beginning of this reading, I didn't touch much on it, but I feel like you just be patient. I wish I had a little bit more to say on this, but I'm hearing you need to know that these inconveniences, though it's valid that it is terrifying, it is coming at all the wrong times, they are big blessings in disguise. And it's going to be very clear to you in the next 6 weeks. Very clear on 6 weeks. Now, obviously, this is a collective reading, so that might only resonate for some of you. But those of you who are, if you continuously, you're just like one thing after the other, it's not a curse. It's not. Trust that there's a reason for everything. Trust that even the negative things, something so beautiful can come out of it. That's really the theme here for you. All around. I'm going to pull from... you know what? I am going to do the Woodland Wardens because I was thinking of this deck a little bit ago after we were talking about the Raven. And so I want to just get... Ooh, Salamander, Stagnation. And then the Vulture, Upheaval. So that stagnation, that upheaval, adaptability, and peace. It's almost like this was the timeline. Like everything that's occurring, that feeling of stagnation, not being able to move forward no matter what. And finally, the upheaval, the emotion, the darkness coming forward, right? And this adaptability, it's like Spirit reminding you that though this is tough, you will adapt, you will get through it, just feel. Stop fighting it. That's something else, is like you're trying to fight all of your shadow coming up, your feelings coming up, trying to hold everything together, and it's like, stop it. Let go. Let go and trust, right? And then that peace, this Otter card, the peace. Peace is coming. You'll feel that once you stop fighting, once you stop trying to force, once you stop trying to control, you'll feel that wave of peace, you know? Okay, I'm gonna get some last messages before we conclude this message for the day. Let's just see what else. Ooh. No! The first card, y'all. We end off with the new beginnings too. Look, the first card. I wish y'all were here whenever I pulled this. It was like right before I started filming. But the new beginnings card we pulled. It's reading backwards, but it's fine. And then the new beginnings. Begin your new life. Back of the deck here, moving forward, get ready for positive change. Ooh. Epiphany, seek clarity. Let's get one last one from this deck. Dragon. Discover your courage, face your fears, release the power of fear. And I'm gonna get one last one from one of my favorite decks. It's the Unicorn deck. What is it called? Oracle of the Unicorns. Let's see. What do you need to hear? I will thank you, Spirit. Love you. Compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Forgiveness will set you free. See the light in yourself and others. And of course, I'm gonna do one more. One more for you. Sanctuary. I'm gonna do 3. Oh, God, see? You'll get used to that. I do that a lot. Sanctuary. Take time out from the world. Spend more time alone. Meditate or go on retreat. Go inwards. Allow yourself to be present with everything that's happening. Take time out. Create a sacred space. Give yourself the replenishment, the ability to recharge your battery, your energy. Miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. My goodness, this was a good reading. This was good. I really hope that this has resonated for you, that this has brought you clarity, that hopefully it's softened the edges a little bit up for you right now during this time. And thank you for listening. My name is Sydney Elena. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more content of mine, and I look forward to sharing here with you all. And to all of my fellow clients, my current clients, I love you all so much. Thank you for also tuning in and being here. And yeah, I hope you all have a really beautifully blessed rest of your day. Mwah. Bye, y'all.